So I guess I have to call someone. So how about you, King? Yes, King.
Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
No worries. So let's say if you want to produce
Uh,
more products, or
I,
you
I
want
can't
to.
I can't hear you. My Wi-Fi is stuttering. Can you say that again?
Hello?
Uh,
Hello?
can you hear me? Can you hear me? My Wi-Fi
Yes,
is not. My
I
Wi-Fi is
can.
stuttering. Can can you say that again?
Hello?
Can you say that again? My Wi-Fi is stuttering.
Okay, now let me check. Can you guys hear me? All right, I guess so. That's your problem, King. Your Wi-Fi has some problem. Let's try to fix that because everyone else can hear me. Just to double check. Yeah, I can hear him too. So I guess this King's Wi-Fi is not working. So let's try with another one. So maybe a girl. Yes, so and can you tell me what you remember from the last lesson? How can we expand our business? What do we need to consider?
I remember from the last lesson, we learned that one of the um components there is labor. We have to hire more
Mhm.
labor for um expanding our business.
Yes, correct. And if you want to produce more products, how can you motivate your employees to produce more to work better?
We could increase the salary or
Mm-hmm.
promote them to higher position and
Mm-hmm.
lots of things more there.
Yeah. So what is the fastest way, the one that can take effect immediately?
Is to increase the salary.
Yes, good job, good job. Okay. All right. So I remember the last time we also studied about how we can calculate your market share and how you can predict the market growth. Today we're gonna go on with that topic because you're gonna need to know how to do the research into the market to collect enough information. So you see that when you want to calculate your market growth, for example, market share, you need to search for information online about the size of the market, about the revenue of your company, about the price of your competitor, so that you can use the positioning map to know where you are on the market. So all of them involves a lot of researching. So the first part of our lesson today, we're going to learn about different ways to do research. And based on that, you're going to choose the best method for your product, for your company, or for your market. So now, the first one we call primary market research. So for primary market research, it means you collect the information by yourself. So for example, you can go out doing a survey on the street, asking for opinions of customers. So you collect the information by yourself and very directly. So that one is called primary market research. We can do different things like you can have surveys on the street, you can do interview, or you can do questionnaires. Maybe like observations. You can observe, let's say, how many people go to the shop every morning. So you can do an observation, and then you see that which shop is more popular with Indian, which shop is more popular with English. So you base on your observation, you directly observe the things, and you collect the data from it. So that one, all of them are in general called primary market research. Now, so before we go to the next slide, can anyone tell me about some advantages and some disadvantages of this technique? So when you have to do it by yourself to collect data, information data, like what are advantages and what are disadvantages of this? Oh yes, King.
It takes longer than when you're like doing like other like secondary market techniques. Like it takes more time because you have to use more of your time on doing other things instead of like it's very specific other than other things which are I would say kind of more general. It takes a lot of time as a whole.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of time, correct? Anything else, guys? For sure, it takes a lot of time. Yes, Lam?
I think, well, sometimes you do primary and secondary research, so it's more like well-rounded. But maybe if we like focus on only one source, like if we only focus on primary source, we only get the viewpoint of maybe it's like kind of limited because we can probably only ask like a few certain people.
Yes, correct. Good job. So the size of our survey, the size of our interview, I don't think we can do like 1,000 of interviews. I mean, not really possible. You can do like 100, that can be, but 1,000, I don't think so. So the size of our sample, the size of our interview, surveys, observation are not enough sometimes to make conclusions. So let's say, for example, the market you entered from your point of view, you do research and you say, okay, we have 10,000 potential consumers in the market, but personally, when you do the research, you only can interview like 100 of them. So 100 on 10,000 is not very significant. Yes, but we also talk about some advantages. So what are advantages of it? You guys mentioned two disadvantages already. Now give me some advantages.
Maybe I think that it is like up to date. Like when you search online for some resources, maybe
Mhm.
it will be 1 years ago or something like that. But when you do interview with real people, it will be facts that you know that it is the fact and it's true at the moment.
Yes, very, very important. So the information is up to date. Um, that's you do it in the morning. You have the result in the afternoon. Very up to date. James, what do you think? Hello, James. Yeah. So
I think we need to server interview focus to observations.
yes. So you like to do observation than others?
Yes.
Okay. But what is the reason that we should use primary market? What is the benefit of using that? So someone says that is it up to date. How about
Yes.
you?
I think it too.
All right, so you believe in that too. Yes. Okay, you want to say something?
I think that the result or the answer of the research gonna be detailed because
Mhm.
we can ask the customers directly and about their preference or needs, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I will change your idea a little bit. So it's not only very detailed, but it's also very specific. So it is for what you need for your company. Because sometimes, like you search for the thing online, it's not necessarily 100% the one that you are looking for. But if you do a survey, so that is the information that you want to know. So it's not only very detailed, but also very specific. Now, so what we need to pay attention to when we do primary market research. So let's say you need to pay attention to 5 things. So first, you need to know who. Who? We answer the question who. And the question is like what. So it means who you are going to interview and what you are going to interview about. So for example, okay, I'm going to ask a group of students from university. That's the who. And then you also have to ask what are, let's say, favorite cell phones. Yes. So for the research objective, you need to define like, okay, what you are going to find out by doing the survey, by doing the observation, and then you have to also look for like the subjective of your research. Who are going to answer that questions? Are they your customers or not? The second thing, like you have to choose between quantitative and qualitative methods. So quantitative method is like you can calculate the information, and quantitative, it means quantity, you can calculate that, but qualitative, quality, you don't calculate that one. So for example, this one, you ask for their favorite, let's say, what is your favorite color? So maybe they say yes, I like blue, I like yellow. So that's your opinion. That's their opinion. It's not something that we really calculate. But for quantitative, you can ask the question like from 1 to 5, how much you like the red color. Then you can calculate how much they like it. All right. So it depends on your company and your product, what kind of information you are looking for. You want to know that how much they like the color red, or you want to know what is their favorite color in general. Okay, identify target audience. Yes, who they are, and focus specifically using your customer profile. All right. This one comes from your customer profile that I remember you built in, I think that's lesson number 2, right? Yeah, your customer profile is from lesson number 2. So use your customer profile and identify the target audience of your research. And then you're going to choose how you're going to collect data back. So for example, if I say that I will interview people and then I have to listen to all the recordings to have the result, do you think that's a good idea to do so? You go to the street, you interview like 100 people. Each people, you ask them 3 questions, and then you have to listen again at home, fill in the table to have the results. Do you think that's a good way?
No.
Maybe quite time consuming.
Yes. Such a
Yes.
waste of
Correct. So that's how you have to choose the way you're gonna collect your data back. So let's say, for example, if I am going to do it that way, I will interview 100 persons on the street, 3 questions for each, and then I say I will listen again at home to figure out the results. How can you help me? Now think about the solution. How can you help me if I want to do that? Yeah, it's really a waste of time listening everything again at home. Wait, do you know how you can help me? Hello, Wei?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can you
Yeah, so how can you help me?
again? Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so I said that I am going to interview 100 people on the street and I will ask each of them 3 questions. After that, I will listen to the recordings at home again and write down the result. But that one is very time consuming. How you can help me to do my research better? Okay, so maybe you can have more time to think. Guys, any idea how can we improve my stupid way?
I think that we should not interview them. Then we should just let them fill in our survey.
So you changed my method to another one.
Yes.
Okay, that could be the solution, but what if I say I still want to do the interview?
Or we can use AI for help.
Okay, why not? You can send the recording to the AI, give it a table, and then ask it to listen to the recording and fill in the table for you. For sure, we can do that. But again, you don't change my method. You just like ask the AI to fix my problem. I still create the problem. Yeah, Hui, you have some idea?
I think like if you get some help from like your friends or some people to like help you look at the teeth.
Okay, so what will my friend do?
Like for example, you split up like for example, you have uh like 10 recordings, so like each of your friend does like two. So like you will have to do less and like it will be more efficient.
Okay. Yes, I get your point. Hey, let me paraphrase this. So I can use help with my friends. I agree with that. So maybe when I interview someone, we have a list of questions, and my friend just take notes of the answers from the interviewing. All right. So we have two persons. One will ask question, and one will take notes down the answers. So by doing that, I don't have to listen again at home. That's how I can change my method. Yeah. So remember, everyone, the way you collect your data is very important. It could be a disaster if you don't pay attention to this one. And number five, there are several things that you need to pay attention to. You need to prepare very clear and unbiased questions. So what do I mean by unbiased question? For example, it has been proven that people, when they are not sure about something, they are very likely to say yes. That is a fact, right? All right. A very common mistake when people are doing questionnaire, they will say, "Do you like the movie Spider-Man 3 or not?" So maybe the person you are asking that question, they only watched like a few minutes of the film, but they will have a tendency to say yes to the question. So unbiased question, don't give your interviewees the chance to give wrong information. So normally we don't ask yes no question a lot, and even that if you do have to ask, make sure that the topic of your question is of one that everyone know about or don't know about at all. If you give something 50-50, so it's very likely that they will say yes, and in the end you will have more yes than no. But it should be 50-50, so like 50 yes, 50 no. Okay. Avoid leading or confusing wording. So don't use big words in your questionnaire. Use simple words. Avoid leading. It means like sometimes the question it has the introduction, or you give the introduction to your interviewees, how to answer the question. But that one is very long, and when it's so long, people get distracted, and they tend to make up their answers. Remember, when they feel tired or they feel that the things you are talking to them doesn't make any sense, so they will make up the answers. They don't give you the real information that you're looking for. Yeah. So the next one, make sure that it's very concise and relevant to your objective. Don't ask extra questions that not related to the objective of your survey. So for example, you are looking for what type of cell phone student in university prefer. So keep the things related to cell phone. Don't ask for their personal relationship. Don't ask for their favorite food, things like that. There's no relationship between favorite food and the cell phone. So keep the things very concise and relevant. Okay, now so the next one, Oh, I'm sorry, misclick. So the next one we have a very quick survey. So I will send you the link. You can scan the QR code here, and then you're gonna see the question on that, or I will share with you the question right now. When you look at the question that I make here, I want you to tell me what's wrong with my questionnaire. Now let me share my screen to make it fast. Yes, so this is my questionnaire. And I got the results from some students before. Now, so when you look at the questionnaire, can you tell me what seems to be wrong with it? Now think about it's a good questionnaire. If it's not, so what's wrong?
For me, I think that the answers
Mm-hmm.
are too wide for answering. Like the topics of the 5 answers there are just really not related to each other for people to really answer fairly. Like, what do you mean by use the fashion? Like, we always wear clothes when we go outside, and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make any sense when we compare to like using technology or gadgets. Like
Oh,
it's hard for me to answer. Yeah.
okay. Yes. So, what you remember about the tips that I shared with you in the previous slide? So, let's say if we use the word fashion here, so what makes it wrong?
Because I think like maybe like when you are talking about fashion, like it is clothes and accessories that you're wearing, and every day you goes out or you maybe at home does need to you do need to wear clothes, and it is fashion also, and maybe it will be the most frequently used in daily life. And
Yeah,
yeah,
so the answer is very wording, right? So the
yes,
word we use here is very confusing. Uh, it doesn't make any sense. Like for sure we have to wear fashion. What do you mean? Fashion is like it could be fashionable for you, but it's not fashionable for me. If you mean clothes, if we wear clothes all the day,
yes,
I don't, yeah, we take a shower, we are naked, but like so that option is not uh, a very useful information. It's really confusing just because the way you use the word is not really nice. Yes, good job. That's one. What else, everyone? Okay, so let me help you with this. So do you think that we should only have 5 options here? So is there any other item that doesn't belong to these 5 answers, but you do use them very frequently in your daily life? Yes, King, no worries. you see the problem. For example, what I use most frequently in my daily life. So it's not anything here. What I use like watering my garden. That's what I do most in every day, watering my garden. And where does that option belong to? I don't think we really have a correct one for that option, watering garden. I use a lot of water to water them. So in addition to anything like that, this one, you want to collect the opinion of your interviewee. So maybe you should write an extra options for them, others. And then they can write down their opinion. All right. So there are two problems with this one. First, some words are not very clear enough. And then it doesn't leave a free option for people to contribute their own idea. Yeah. So pay attention and learn from the mistake for this question. Don't try to do that. Now, so let's get back and we're going to do the second type of research, which is the secondary market research. So who can tell me why it is called secondary? Yeah, wait, why is it called secondary?
I think it's called secondary because you're using another person's like source, like research.
Yes, correct. Thank you, Hui. Yeah, so secondary market research means like you use the information collected by other companies and then you analyze the information again to figure out, well, maybe the results of your target market research. So you're gonna need to conduct market research for your company, and yes, what is more important? We need to know where to find information. So for example, Lam, if you need to find a lot of information for your marketing research, where are you going to find that one? Where are you going to look up for that?
For secondary research.
Yes, I mean information that you can use to analyze for your own company. Someone that did it for you and you just get the information from them.
I guess I'd use like a reliable source, like something
Like
that's
what?
like Britannica. Definitely not Wikipedia though. Like something
Why Wikipedia doesn't work?
because like Wikipedia, it's like kind of known for not being a good source because like anyone can edit it, so information might not be as accurate.
Yes. So if it's not Wikipedia, what do you use?
I usually use like Britannica.
Britannica. Okay. So how about others? Kevin, if you want to find some source of information, can you share with us some useful sources?
I think
Yes.
it can maybe from like reliable organization
Such as?
like trading and stuff. You can maybe find from like I think like it's called World Trade Organization, right? I think.
Yes, that one is a very good source of information, a very accurate one. James, Google is the best way. Not really James, because Google is like it just shows you all the information, all the results that match with your keywords. So it doesn't mean that the information is accurate. Hui, you want to say something?
I think like any like website that has like .gov at the end because it's from like the government. So
You say
I
dot
think
.vn?
no .gov G-O-V
Okay,
because
okay,
like it's from the government.
But can the government be wrong?
I just think that it's like more reliable than like Wikipedia and like Google.
Okay, I agree with you. Yeah, so I think you guys all mentioned a very good point here, and I want to share with you some free. I want to emphasize this. They are free. There are a lot of websites and organizations that they can provide with you. They can provide you very, very valid and valuable information, but you have to pay for them. So I'm going to share with you something free. So firstly, yes, we say about big organizations like World Trade or World Bank, and the information from here is free. A lot of things. I use this one for my assignments when I was in university, and a lot of other assignments as well. World Bank. OECD, you can search for this keyword on Google and go to the main website of this organization. But this one is only for developed country. So if you're looking for some country in Asia, I don't think you can find here, unless if they are Japan or Korea, they are already developed. Eurostat, yes, again, this one is only for European Union. This one, I love it. I really love this one. What I mean by, it's not like number one and number two. The information here, they are very academic, and it's about a very big topic. But the topic that you can find here, they are smaller and they are very practical. So if you're looking for, okay, what is the latest trend of toy for children in America? You can go to this website, just ask for the information. But that information will not appear anywhere in 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3 are for some big topic, and number 4 is for small issues, like trending, like social food, like, you know, anything that in your daily life you can think of, but they are very small and very specific. Yes, Hui, you are correct. We keep. So James, listen, if you want to share your ideas, you just need to raise your hand, and then you can turn on your mic. We talk with each other. It's better than just, you know, chatting there. Maybe I missed you. I don't see your message. Thanks for explanation, Hui. Yes, correct. GPT and AI, they are not 100% reliable, because if you ask them for some information that already there, so they can find for you. But if you ask them to create some information based on what is available on the internet, they can provide wrong answers. Yeah, so don't trust them 100%. Okay, now, so that's all about marketing research. We have two methods, primary and secondary. Now, so let's talk about the secondary benefits. What are the benefits of using this method compared to the first one, the primary one? Oh, sorry.
Definitely faster. Because you can
Definitely faster.
search online.
Yeah, you may need to say this phrase where they are free here, free sources.
Yes.
Okay, so they can be free and yeah, very fast. What else? Hey Lam, do you want to contribute something? Why do you think we should use secondary research?
Like as a whole,
What do you mean by as a whole?
like, are you asking me like why secondary research is important for market research?
Kind of like what are advantages in using them?
Oh, okay. Like secondary research, if you use like a reliable source, right, then it will give you like proper data information, because most of like these free sources, they actually collect proper data that's very like, it's like balanced. It's like also diverse, so you have a lot of insight. So if you use secondary research, you will like understand the needs coming from like many areas of the market.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And
Yeah,
a better perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Better view. It gives us a bigger picture of everything. Yeah, so in addition to those things, I also want to add one more point, like it is very suitable for big scale research. It's very suitable for big scale research. So in contrast to primary one, which is very targeted and suitable for small group, this one is for mass production. So if you want to have a look, okay, what is the average income of Vietnam? You cannot do the interview to figure out that number, right? You need to have something like this. Then you know, okay, the average salary, the average income is 10,000. So they can buy our product. Our product is only 5,000. They can buy it. So when you want to find out information about big issues, you should use secondary research. Much more easier. So let's talk about your customer profile. All right. So think about your customer profile. Give me some factors that you may need to use the secondary research when you build your customer profile, or which factors that you may need to use the secondary research. Let's recall what you did for the profile. So the customer profile, it includes demographic. What else?
I think that we could have the expert insights through the secondary research, because like those data are often gathered by reputable resources.
Yeah, so can you give me an example in your team when you did a customer profile, which one that you think you should use the secondary research to find out information for that?
Our team project.
Yes.
We haven't done that yet, but I think that we're gonna search for like from the British government.
Wait, your customer profile, I think you did it already. So like the age of your customer, remember?
Yes.
Right, the income of them, the nationality. You did it with me in the lesson number 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So for example, that is where you should use the secondary research to collect the information about big problem, big issues. Yeah. So now let's go to the next one. And today, the next part of our lesson, it is about marketing strategies. And we will focus on 4 things. They are product, price, place, and promotion. These are the things that we're going to do today. So marketing strategies, it means like, first, let's talk about marketing. What is the meaning of this word? In business, what is the marketing of this word?
Maybe to make your products meaning valuable in the customer's eyes and make them want to buy it.
Yes, correct. So marketing in business, it means like make your product available for customer, make your customer aware of your product and persuade them to buy it. So in order to do that, we're going to focus on 4 things. They are product, price, place, and promotion. So let's have a look at each of them. Now, so first we talk about product. So when you talk about the product, it means like you need to let your customer know what is your product. You need to tell them about the design of your product. Like, okay, this is the design of my product. Why is it like that? Some features of your product. What is your product for? What can we use for? The quality is your product top quality, middle quality, inferior quality. The branding, what's the name of your product? So for example, you say, okay, I have a hotel and then I will sell the hotel to you. So that is just your product, but it needs a name. So what's the branding? The name of your product. So I have 3 types of room in my hotel. Let's say a rich room, a superior room, or the lake view room, something like that. So that's the branding of your product, the name. Just think about it, make it easy. The name. And the name will tell the customer something about the product. A variety and range, like is your product comes with different colors, it comes with different options. So for example, the cell phone, iPhone, that it comes with a lot of options. It can have the memory of 64 gigabytes, or it can have the memory of 124 gigabytes. It comes with variety and range. Warranties and guarantees. Yes, for example, we need to let customer know about this, because this is a promise of the quality. So for example, if you are selling a room in your hotel to customer, you can give them the guarantees like, if the room is dirty, you will receive a new room, no service charge. And after you finish your vacation in our hotel, I can give you a voucher for the next trip. So that's the guaranteed warranty. If something happens, how can you promise that the quality, the utility of your consumer is the same? So they are the things that you need to write down very carefully before you need to tell your customer about your product. Now, so let's think about this. When you want to do the marketing strategy, and we are talking about product here, should we do it with a very persuasive paragraph here for each factors? Should I use a paragraph for each factors, or should I use some just keywords, or maybe I just write out some short sentences here? Yeah, so King, what do you think? I should use a paragraph, some keywords, or just some sentences?
Left within the.
Well, if you want to
I
like,
have to be careful not.
because when can I tell my little brother to like turn down the
Yeah,
other? So I don't. I think we should use bullet points and not like to write out an entire paragraph, because writing out an entire paragraph, of course, no one's going to read it. They want to read little short strips of like notices. No one's going to read an entire paragraph.
Mm-hmm. So just some keywords and some short sentences to illustrate everything. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think, you know what, like I read a survey done by a group of scientific researchers in a university. I forgot the name of the university, but it means like when customer they pay attention to your product, they only have like 10 or 15 seconds to get enough information about your product. After 15 seconds, it's just like their brain stops working. So it means use the bullet points or keywords or very short sentences and try to persuade them to buy the product. Try to bring all the information, convey all the information to the customer, because the maximum span of attention is like 15 seconds only. Now, so this is what we're going to call the USB. So when you analyze your product, it means what your business does best. The answer for this question comes from the product that you have just analyzed. Now, who can tell me what does it stand for by this one, USP? What does it stand for?
It stands for the unique selling point.
Okay, unique selling point. So that is a part that I believe you definitely will have in your competition. You need to figure out your unique selling point. And team two, I guess you wrote something about unique selling point in the first slide that you gave me, but at that time I said that we had not studied enough to write about the unique selling point. So today we study and then you can fix the problem. Okay, so in order to have a unique selling point, you're gonna have to talk about what your business the best, and it comes from the product. What the customer desires, it means something in the market, the gap in the market. And then what your competition doesn't have. All right, so you combine all of them together and it becomes your unique selling point. Now, so I will make an example and then you have time to do your own practice in team about your product. So I am going to open a coffee shop, but that coffee shop is a very special one. It's a rock coffee shop. So only plays rock music in my coffee shop. In my coffee shop, I give it the name of a very famous rock song, It's My Life, for example. Does anyone know this song, It's My Life? No,
Bon Jovi. I love Bon Jovi.
Oh, yes. At least I know. The girl here listens to Bon Jovi. Yeah, so that's the name, right? That's the product, Rock Coffee Shop. That's the name. It comes with variety. So the warranty and variety. So my warranty is like, if you don't like the music, pay as you want. So it means if they don't like music I play in the shop, they pay as much as they want. They don't have to pay the full price according to my price list. Variety. So I will build up. Oops, sorry. What does a different types of rock? Let's say in the morning I play soft rock. In the afternoon I play hard rock. Things like that, so that my product has variety. Yes, so customer design. So in my city, not so many rock coffee. And they mainly open in the evening. Now, oh, sorry. Let me move it. What my customer decide, a place to enjoy their music and coffee, maybe beers with friends. Now, so when you look at these, please tell me what is my unique selling point. Now, so analyze the things on my screen and tell me what is my unique selling point.
Is playing a variety of rock music all day and night in a coffee shop.
Yes, correct. Because my competitors, they only open in the evening. I only in the morning I play different kind of rock. In the morning, classical rock music, something about love. Yeah, soft, gently. In the evening, do some headbanging, for example. What else? What else is my unique selling point? Yes, King?
You pay as you wish.
Okay. why that one is my unique selling point?
Maybe it's kind of illogical, but like if people want cheaper coffee, say, they could just say, I don't like the music and pay as they want. It's like a
Mm.
unique selling point to attract customers who aren't that ethical. I don't know, it's just my line of thinking.
Yes, you are right. That's my unique selling point, right? And why I want to do that, because if what my customer desire, a place to love their music, to enjoy their music, rock, and a cup of beer, a cup of coffee, right, with their friends. So when they pay lower than the price I offer, it means they don't like the music. And when they don't like the music, will they come back or not? They will not come back, right? But again, what I gain here? So, for example, if you go to the store, you don't like the food, but you have to pay the full price. Will you be upset? Yes, you will be upset. What you do next? You give them 2 stars rating on whatever application, Google Map, Zalo, or whatever. You're going to give them 1 star. But if you say, "Oh, I don't like the food," I pay 50%. So then you don't give bad rating. Yeah. Okay. I think James texted me something. Okay, Young, you can go. Guys, now now we're gonna do the team project. So, oh, so only I'm here from team one.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, what should we do? Um, so I don't think I have any other options. Like Lam, she left already. I guess you have to work by yourself. So guys, I want you to work with your friends. Sorry, and then use your product, analyze the things like what I just did, and give me the unique selling point. All right, you have to tell me what is your product like, what does your customer want, and what does your competitor lack of, right? And then based on that, analyze and give me the unique selling point. All right, I will give you breakout room. Where's the breakout room? And then you have 5 minutes for discussion. Yes, so now, please, Team 2, can you share with us your document, your work, and tell us about your unique selling point?
We don't have a document, so is it okay if we just talk about it?
Okay, so that's what I mean. Like, it's better to have something like people can read and listen to you at the same time, so it's easier to understand your point. But just let's go. I will try to help you with that. A whiteboard.
I guess I'll start by telling you guys like about one of our USP.
Mhm.
One of our unique selling points is that we integrate like the employment of local farmers, craftsmen into our like employment, and we think that's
Okay.
an important USP because it really reflects our values about how we prioritize like our local community rather than fully objecting to like tourism demands. We also like take into account our local community, and that I think that differentiates us a lot from competitors. Yeah.
Okay, but what do your customer want?
So our customers, when we say like local farmers, we mean like local farmers that like harvest local fruits and then they bring it to us and we pay them, right? So we understand that our customers want organic like food, right? Because we don't want to give them like chemical, artificial fruit, vegetables, etc. So we want to provide them with healthy fruits that are locally farmed.
Mhm.
So we think that this USP benefits both our customers and the local community.
And let's analyze them in 3 questions. What does your competitor doesn't have?
Our competitors, we think that they tend to overlook the needs of the local community when it comes to tourism, and so they often like prioritize like
Mhm.
the demands from the tourists. Like if they want to make the tourists happy, right? So when they try to achieve that, they will undermine our local community, and we think that that is not sustainable tourism and want to change
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, I think you have a very good analysis of your situation, but one problem is in order to have a USP, it means what your company does best, what your customer want, and what your competitor doesn't have. All of these 3 things, they must meet each other at one point, and that point is called a unique selling point. So for here, I don't think this one is really linked to any of other. Cái câu mà khách hàng của bạn không thiếu điều gì, tức là khách hàng của bạn, cái đối thủ cạnh tranh của bạn không không có cái gì, không chú ý đến người dân địa phương. Nhưng mà cái mà việc không chú ý đến người dân địa phương thì nó có match với cái việc là khách hàng muốn gì không? Khách hàng đây bạn nói là muốn organic fruit. Thế thì organic fruit they can be imported. Yes, it's not necessary to be from local farmer. It can be imported from another country as long as they are in organic. Your customer will be happy. So the part of what does your competitor doesn't have is not really linked to the other 2 questions. Đấy, thì đó là cái USB của các bạn nó chưa được hợp lý lắm nha. Tức là để mà tạo được cái USB là 3 cái câu hỏi này nó sẽ cắt với nhau ở một cái điểm nào đó ở giữa. We just don't move my paintings. Đó, thì ví dụ này thì ví dụ này, cái này ấy, ưu tiên du khách thì nó có liên quan gì tới organic food. Bởi vì nếu khách hàng thích organic food thì nó cũng không nhất thiết phải từ local farmer, đúng không? Thì cái này đó các bạn nên xem xét là USB nha. Các bạn phân tích về từng câu hỏi thì đúng rồi. Individually they are correct. But when you put them in together, it's not. Okay, so let's go to team 1. I see that you guys are really trying to draw something. Okay, now so team one, what you have? Okay, we have a lot of things from Anne. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anne, so can you summarize the point for me and everyone?
Yes, okay. For the first one is what we do best. Firstly is our model, like our model of unique tree house. And second is the location. It's in the middle of nature, view for the Loch Ness, a lake, famous lake. And one more thing that we aimed for a wide range of customers. Like they can go there for both adventures and meditation with provided activities there, like I have already mentioned. And secondly, for the customer uh, desire, like there are a lot of people who really wants to visit Loch Ness one day and discover it there because of its famous myth of a monster there, especially the youngsters who really want to have adventurous activities there. And second is for people who really want to escape the hustle and bustle of cities and find a way to immerse in nature. And lastly, because there are a lot of older people who have really can pay money for re-intro into their childhood. I mean, the tree house that we provided. And for the competitions, like I think they around there, they are only the luxurious resorts, and they are nothing classic for normal people. And also because of that, so the cost is quite high, and also they only mainly offer the meditation or relaxation with luxurious activity and nothing really adventurous there. So
Yes.
for our unique selling point, our unique selling point is that we have a tree house in the middle of the woods for people who really want to re-enjoy. Secondly is the affordable price for famous destination. Like we have already mentioned our price in the last lesson, and it was more affordable than the more hybrid resort. And lastly, it is the natural and adventurous combined together. And it's like
Okay.
involves everybody.
Yes, I agree with your point, but for the US point, I guess the main one that you should mention is like the combination between adventure and relaxation. And then, for example, the tree house in the middle of the wood is just an example of that idea, right? So in that way, you can present your ideas better. So your USB is like that's a combination between adventure and relaxation, which is not found anywhere around the lake because the hotel over there they only provide relaxation. They doesn't provide adventures. You combine them. Why you can combine them? So relaxation, tree house in the middle of the forest. Adventure, lake activities. Yes. Đấy thì em có thể trình bày lại, tức là nó vẫn như thế thôi nhưng mà trình bày là một cái nào là cái idea chính, cái nào là cái ví dụ của cái idea nhé. Thank you so much everyone. So now it's 9:20. You can take a break of 5 minutes and come back at 9:25 for the rest of the lesson. I see you in 5 minutes. All right, now let's get back. We will, yeah, let me see what we need to do. So we have finished discussing the problem of product. Now the second thing in marketing is about the price. Now, so in the price, we're gonna have three strategies that when you enter the new market, you can use to gain benefit, to stay alive. Okay, it means like penetration pricing. You go to the new market. You want people to buy products from you. So you want to sell your product at a low price to get enough attention, to gain market share. But when you get enough market share, you can come back to your normal price. So this is the thing that you often see when new restaurants or maybe new coffee shop open. They're gonna say 50% in the first week off for everything. So that's for the first week when they enter the market. They say 50% off, so they try to lower their price. But after 1 week, people know about the restaurant, people know about the coffee shop. Now, no more discussion. We will come back to our normal price. So that's what I call penetration pricing. What are advantages and disadvantages of this? Now, let's think about that. So, have a minute to think about the advantages and disadvantages of these methods. Everything in your life has two sides, no exception. Now, so for sure, the advantages are very clear here to quickly gain market share, right? But how are the disadvantages? Now, can anyone? So, Kevin, what do you think, Kevin? Okay, maybe Kevin's not here. How about you, Lam? So, what might be the consequences of using these policies?
Well, it could damage like customer loyalty. Like if you think about it,
Mhm.
some people tend to go for like the cheaper option. So if you start low to try to break into the market, and then when you suddenly like start to raise your price, it kind of damages like the customer loyalty because maybe like some customers they don't want to pay more.
Yes, you are right. So it can lead to a sudden drop in the number of customers for your company. Yes, definitely. But so if that is the disadvantage, so for which industry we should use this penetration pricing? It does for food and beverage industry, it does for building industry, or it does for retailing industry. If that is a disadvantage, right, it may damage the loyalty of customers. So for which industry this strategy is very useful for?
For me, maybe in highly competitive market like food and beverage. Like there are a lots of kind of milk or something like that, like on the picture. And then when you are the one who have the lowest right price, so maybe it will attract more customer to try it, and if it's good, maybe they will continue to buy yours the next time.
Yes, correct. Food and beverage, that is very competitive market. For example, you like drinking milk tea, for example. How many brands of milk tea are there in your city? Like 200, 300? So how do you know that? Okay, which one should I drink? Normally you go, oh yeah, they have lower price. That's a new one. They have 50% off. Let's go. So that's how people get attention from customer. At least when you buy one drink from a milk tea shop, you remember the name of the coffee shop, the milk tea shop better. So for highly competitive market, that's a very good strategy. Like food and beverage, milk tea. All right. No worry, Kevin. Now, so the second strategy, we're gonna have loss leader. So the loss leader, it means like you're gonna sell a pair of products that must be used together, and one is sold at a very low price, so that customer will get it without thinking. But then they have to pay money for the second product a lot of times. So for example, a coffee machine. So what do we need to have a cup of coffee? We need a machine and we need coffee powder. So if I am the producer of coffee powder, I will create a coffee machine, give it a brand name from my company. I sell the machine with a very low price. But then when they use Mr. Coffee machine, they need to use Mr. Coffee powder. That's in the habit. And then I will gain benefit, more money from selling coffee powder. Maybe for the coffee machine, I earn no money. It's just an even point. So let's say I produce the machine with 10,000. I sell it for 10,000. I don't make any money, but I make money because when people buy that machine, they're gonna buy coffee powder from me to make coffee. So that's an example of this strategy, loss leader. Yes, wait. That's a very good example. Hey, wait, are you using that printer in your house?
No, we are using a different.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so can anyone give me an example for this kind of strategy? He said that that's about the printer. The machine is really cheap, but the ink is really expensive. I mentioned the coffee machine. So what else? What else you can think of?
I think like the beauty industry, like sometimes they sell like
Mm-hmm.
sets together. Like usually you think the products they would be like really expensive, but then they'll come with like a lot of like beauty blenders and stuff like that, and you think like it's a good deal.
I'm not very familiar with beauty industry. Can you explain that to me again?
Like sometimes when you buy like for example, like if you buy like skincare, right?
Okay.
The products, there would be like a few products, but it's like very high end. So the products are more expensive, but they come with like a lot of like amenities. Like they will give you a lot of like beauty blenders, brushes, stuff like that. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
them, right?
correct.
And then you'll think it's like a really good deal.
Okay, yeah. For example, skincare, you need to have an equipment to put it on your face so that they get money from selling that equipment to you. Yes, correct. Yes, James, pen. Uh, in the past, pen is a good example, but nowadays, I don't think we use pen that much. Like in the past, when I used pen, I have to refill the pen with ink. It was like 20 years ago. So I don't think nowadays people really use that kind of pen anymore. Yes, they do. For director or famous people, when they sign thing, they use that kind of pen, refillable. But it's not really popular. But it's true. That's a good example. But it's not very popular nowadays. I don't really get your example. Live. Can you enlighten me? please?
Like, for example, like life, like when you were born, like you were born into the world for free, but like to survive in the world, it costs us money.
But am I a customer here? Like I am buying my life when I was born? Well, it's free, right? So it's free, so it's not really correct. For last, like you still have to pay money for the first product. Maybe the company doesn't make money from that, but they make money from the second product that is used with the first product. So I guess there's something not really correct in your example here. Okay, so we have pen, we have to refill ink, coffee machine, we have to get coffee powder. We have to use printer, we have to use beauty, tools, brush, eyeliners, things, a lot of things. Now, so the next strategy for price, it is you try to set your price higher than your competitor, or maybe higher than the quality of your product. So, for example, why we need to do that? Let's say, which one is the most expensive milk tea brand in your city? Now, tell me, which one is the most expensive milk tea brand in your city? How about you, James? Do you know a name? No, you don't drink milk tea. Okay. So let's forget that one. So let's take another example. So which one is the most expensive car brand? Let's talk about cars. The brand, the most expensive brand for cars, in your opinion. Yes, James?
I think this is Lamborghini.
Okay. Now, so do we have all the types of car that functions as well as the Lamborghini? Do we have? Yes, we do. We have a lot. But the price of the Lamborghini is really up to the sky. So why? Because that one is very unique. Yes, it's very unique. So that the price, the producers, they try to set a high price to reflect, to tell customer that this one is very unique. So just by doing that, they keep the brand very popular to people. Now, so who can think of another example and tell me? Well, this strategy, premium pricing. No more cars. Another thing, no more cars. Yes, Lam?
Like YouTubers, like the product that YouTubers make, like so, for example, like the Mr. Beast chocolate bar. I think influencers, they usually like really overprice their products even though it's kind of mid. I think it kind of like sells the illusion that their product is really high quality.
Wait. The premium price is not about telling everyone that your product is of high quality. It tells people that maybe your product is like, it has higher quality compared to other things. Or maybe it's very unique. So your example is correct, but you have to explain it again to me. So why the chocolate produced by Mr. Beast has higher price? Is because it has higher quality compared to other kinds of chocolate, or is that because the chocolate is very unique? I receive a lot of message. Yes, Lam.
Can you say that again? My laptop is like kind of dying.
Okay. Yeah. So your example is correct, but you have to identify the price is higher because it has higher quality or because it's very unique.
I think is because it's very unique.
Yes, that guy is a top one YouTuber, so his product is unique. Okay. Any other example, please?
Yes, I think I'm thinking of the fashion industry. Like
Mhm.
there are a lot of hybrid brands like Gucci, Chanel, which has a lot of products which has really high price because they are unique,
Mhm.
not only because of their quality, because like to produce perfume or bags, there are many other brand that can do the same thing, but because of their price is high, so it's make the rich people they want to buy it.
Yes, you are right about that. But it's not only about they are unique. I remember it's about there's one brand fashion. There's one fashion brand. They are very special in producing suitcase and bags and things. And the quality of the leather they use is superior to others. So
Yeah,
the quality of their
it's
product, Gucci also.
Louis Vuitton.
Yes, Louis Vuitton. And even that, the suitcase they produce, it has one very special feature. That one is totally waterproof. So in the past, if you travel by boat and you carry a suitcase by Louis Vuitton, and in case the boat sinks, you can use the suitcase as a lifeboat. So that one is very unique. Not only higher quality, but something is very unique. Yeah. Oh yeah, who is KFC? Come on, why KFC is it higher premium pricing? The price higher than what? James, KFC the price higher than which company? I think KFC the price pretty low compared to other. Should be cheap. Cái này hình như thầy nghĩ là KFC là cái chỗ mà nó bán là rẻ nhất trong mấy cái loại đồ ăn nhanh thì phải chứ nhỉ? Dạ, McDonald's nó còn đắt hơn nữa kia, đúng không? Hoặc là mấy cái gà rán barbecue hoặc là gì đó thì nó đắt hơn nhiều, chứ cái KFC là nghĩa là cái chip mix luôn ấy, nó là thuộc dạng là chip rồi chứ không high price đâu nha. Yes, okay, thank you so much everyone. So that's all about the pricing. Now the number 3. So we talk about product pricing. Number 3, that is about promotion. So promotion, product, you know your product, the feature of your product. Price, you see, what is the share price? With the price strategy will tell your customer about your product. And now you come to promotion. So for promotion, it means like to let customer know about your product. We're gonna have it divided into 2 categories. The first one, mass marketing. It means you try to let as many as people to know about your product as possible. And in this case, you let them know about general information about your product as much as you can. So what can we do for mass marketing? You can use television, right? A lot of people will watch television. For example, in a football game, definitely you're gonna have energy drink advertisements. So yeah, go watch that one, and then you can attract attention of thousands of viewers. Or you can use radio advertising. I don't think this one is very popular in Vietnam, and it's quite outdated as well. I don't think radio is not a very still in America or in some South American countries, people still use radio for communication, especially when internet connection is not available. So radio, yes, is still so the same people will try to have advertisements on radio. For example, like after the news at 7 p.m., they're gonna read a short introduction about product. Cinema advertising. I'm sure that you guys are very familiar with this one. Before any movie, you have to spend like 10 or 15 minutes watching a lot of advertisement about different products. And this one, the company, they don't really target at any group of customer. They just say, I want to let as many as much possible to know about product. I don't care if they are old, they are young, they are not really my target customer. So that's what we call mass marketing. As many as possible. Now, so let's talk about cinema advertisement. So when you go to the cinema and watch a movie, what kind of advertisements that you often see in the movie? What kind of product they often advertise before a movie? Yeah, recall the last time, the latest time that you went to the cinema. What did you see before the movie started? Yes, King, correct. Advertisement of all the movies. That's a very smart way of producers. Advertisement of all the movies. That's it, 90%. Okay. Next, we can do newspaper, magazines. But nowadays, when we have the internet, so you see that people don't really read hard copy paper, newspapers anymore. We try to read everything on the internet, on the website, and that's the reason why you see a lot of pop-ups when you try to read the newspaper online. Pops up, advertisement, click to close the window, a lot of things. It's really annoying. And sometimes you see, we have to look at the dark side of the problem. So advertisement is to attract customer. But if it is so annoying, customer will go away. So make sure that if you do online marketing on newspaper like VN Express, make the logo or the advertisement, don't make it like overwhelm, cover all the screen. It's very difficult to find a place to close your advertisement, because by doing that, people will foster the hatred toward your product. So one time I read a newspaper about football, and there was an advertisement about gambling. I mean, gambling is not legal in Vietnam, but it's legal in a lot of places. But the problem is, like, the banner for that gambling company, it was so big that I cannot read my newspaper, and I couldn't find a place to close it. So in the end, I hate that product. I hate the company name. Yes. So sometimes it's big, it's good, but when it's not convenient, it's annoying, people will go away. So outdoor advertising, yes, this one is very popular. I think when you go to Hong Kong or China, they are very famous. Of Japan as well, they are very famous for streets like this with a lot of lights and colorful screen. Nowadays, China, they are ahead. They are the foreigner in outdoor advertising. If you search on Google, there are a lot of videos about 3D model running on the screen. It's like a real dragon will jump out of the screen to you outside the building. So I think China is really ahead in this kind of advertising. Now, so we talk about mass marketing, and we're gonna talk about individually targeted marketing. So when it comes to smaller level, it means people will try to talk to you in person, and then they will try to persuade you to buy the product. So you can try to send them an email, call them on cell phone, or send them a mail via post office about the product. However, nowadays, let's tell you about telephone marketing. What is the problem with nowadays telephone marketing? Why it's not very popular and useful anymore?
Wait, telecom marketing, is that where like they call you and they advertise it?
Yes, kind of like that. They can call you.
Oh, wait, I think it's kind of hard for us to like visualize the product as well. If they're just like saying like, oh, buy this, it will do this and that. Like,
Yes, you're
Right.
right. Yeah, it's not easy, especially if the product is something about fashion, right? It's difficult to persuade people to buy something that they cannot see. Yeah, wait, what you want to say?
I also think like a lot of people will just ignore that call. Like they will just like hang up
Mhm.
because like yeah.
Yes, you're right. So one problem with telemarketing is like you cannot see the product, and it's difficult to make decision. But another thing is, it's about how the company get your number. So if they get your number just by buy it from someone else, so that is the violation of your privacy, because your personal information is a secret, and no one should use it without your permission. So let's say I open a bank account, I give all my personal information to the bank, and then the bank sell my information to a computer company. Then the company call me and say, hey, you want to buy a PC for your house, play games? Then how do you have my number? I don't give you my number. So that is a violation of privacy. And nowadays, governments around the world are trying like really hard to protect the privacy of information, of personal information. So nó là một cái mà ngay bây giờ nó rất là khó làm, tại vì cái dữ liệu cá nhân đang được ngày càng nó được bảo mật ngày càng cao, và cái punishment cho cái việc violation thì càng ngày nó càng nặng, cho nên là cái telemarketing nó khó làm là như thế. And scam, right? A lot of people they have been scammed via phones. So yes, when you say right, when I receive a call from someone I don't say no, I don't want to hear you, I just hang up. Thì cái việc mà bị lừa đảo quá nhiều đó cũng là một cái tác động mà việc cái telemarketing giờ này nó không có hiệu quả nữa. The same for email marketing. So just last month, one person sent me an email saying that they found the password to control my computer, and if they don't pay the money, they will open all my bank account, they will review all my documents to my competitors and things like that. So they try to scam me via email. And that's why email marketing is less popular right now. It's the same problem. Yes, so personal selling. So personal selling, it is like you go to each house, you knock on the door, and you introduce the product. Hey, can you buy this? I remember in the past, this was a very popular method at that time, because in the past we at my was like 1996 or 1997. At that time, Vietnam, we didn't have the internet, and TV was only for rich family. So a very effective way to sell something, like you go to each house, knock on the door, and introduce the product. Sell presentation and in-person meeting with client. Yes, so you meet a person in private, you set up the presentation, you talk about your product, you show them a model, you show them a sample of your product, and then they can use, they can smell, they can touch it. So that's what called personal selling. Yes, James, give me 10 minutes. All right, give me 10 minutes. So personal selling, yes, you can read some example of this later. Sales promotions. So like, you can hire a place in crowded place, set up your store or maybe a share of something, and then it can catch from attention of people who when they walk by. So for example, in the supermarket, next to the cashier, it's often there is a small shelf, and on that one they often put new product. Otherwise, you can see that when you go to the supermarket, they're gonna give you something like, okay, free sample on the table, free samples. Just go and get it. A trade show, yes. So a show is a very effective way to promote your product. Fashion industry, that one often use shows to promote its product, especially when it has a new collection for winter, new collections for spring. So they often organize a show. Okay, next sponsorship. So this one is very popular, like especially in football. They're gonna see a lot of brands on the uniform of football player, and on the shoes, or maybe on the banners running around the stadium. So that's what we call sponsorship. So King, do you watch football?
Yeah, I do.
What's your favorite team?
Real Betis.
So what is the sponsors of that team? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
I don't think they have a sponsor.
I remember that there are some
They
Chinese
have. What do you
letters.
mean? They have.
Real Betis. I don't remember what they have. Because
I
they're
think
under
they have some
just
Chinese letters on their uniform.
some weird Spanish brand. I don't know.
Yes, but we do have, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we do.
Okay, now the last thing that we're gonna talk about is about Blaze. Blaze. Sorry. Blaze is about the distribution of your product, how you deliver your product from your company to your customer. And we're gonna have three things to consider. So the first one, you sell directly to your customer. The second way, you're gonna give it to another one, and that one will sell to your customer. Okay, and the last one, you're gonna sell a lot of products to wholesalers. The wholesaler will sell them again to the retailers, and then the retailer will sell them again to consumer. Yep. Now, so let me make some example for you here. Let's say soft drink, Coke, right? So for Coke, do you think they have zero level when they sell directly the Coke to you? Yes or no?
No, I don't think so. They have
Yes.
to sell to a lot of retailers, like the supermarket, to sell.
Yes. Yeah, so they sell the Coke to retailer or distributors, and then we receive the Coke from them. Yeah. So we have three ways to distribute our product to our customer, and it depends. For example, in tourism industry, a hotel, we often use all of them because, for example, zero level, how they can get product from us, they get it from our website. So that's what we call zero level. For your hotel, build a website, your customer go there, book a room, the zero level. One level, you can give it to your agencies, and the agency will sell to your consumers. Two levels, so your hotel, for the wholesalers, like someone will buy like the use of room in your hotel for like a year, and then they will give it to another one, retailers, and then the retailer will sell to consumer. So for example, if I rent, let's say, a whole conference room in your hotel, so that's only me. I get the whole conference room in your hotel, and then I sell the conference room let's say I can use for 3 university days. I sell it to 3 different agencies. Say, hey, you can use my room for 100 days. And then that one will find some organization or company who wants to use the conference rooms for 1 or 2 days. So that's how I can distribute my product to my customer. But again, for tourism industry, I believe the 0 level or the 1 level is very popular. Yes, there are some examples here. You can have a look at home. And here are the way that's a 0 level, some examples of them that you can think of, like e-commerce, like website, or some platform for shopping like Lazada, a vending machine, yes, direct from the producers to consumer, mail order. Just some examples for you to consider and have a look at home. Yes, King and James, you guys are talking about football. I know that the most important game has been over. Real Palace lost the game against Genesis. Okay, now, so this is your homework. So please at home, you need to decide with your teammates the best market strategy for your product. You decide and you run it. If you want to do the primary research, I suggest that you should do it in the Google form, and then you can send me the Google form on 4th of June, so that I can correct the questionnaire for you. Then you're gonna have to decide everything here, all the things we learned in this lesson. USB, you did it already with me. The feature of your product, I think we talked about in lesson 1 and lesson 2. Just make sure that you're gonna write down carefully this time. Price, promotion, place. All right. So think about all the things that we have discussed and just write down the answer for each bullet point here. The most important thing is like this one. It has the deadline on 4th of June, and for this one, the deadline is on Saturday, which is the 7th of June. Okay. I know that you have a lot of homework, but believe the more you do, it's easier for you in the exam later. Sorry, the competition later. Yes, Lam?
Wait, what about like the homework assigned like on Saturday? Like, I think it was about our market share and like our market growth.
growth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we also submitting that as well?
The deadline is tomorrow.
Oh, so
Yeah,
we
so that
submit
one,
that tomorrow, but
yes,
this homework is.
it has 2 deadlines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For your homework tomorrow, basically it's just some math and calculation. So I will fix the problem directly on the link. We don't have to talk about it during the lessons. But the primary research questionnaire is very important, so that you should let me know about the homework on the 4th of June, so that I can try to read it beforehand. Remember that after I say it's okay, you can run the research, and remember that it should be at least, I will write down on the slide to make sure that you don't forget. So you should have at least 20 response. All right, if you try to do the primary research. Okay, so that's everything for tonight. Any question? No. Ok rồi. Em có thể nói lại với các bạn trong team em về cái nội dung hôm nay nhé. Tại vì hôm nay không có các bạn kia nhé.
Yeah.
Còn team 2 thì đi học đầy đủ thì các bạn phân phối nhiệm vụ làm cho. Rồi đó là cái môn, cái này là chỉ có teamwork thì các bạn mới học được thôi. Còn nếu các bạn không teamwork thì các bạn gần như không học cái gì được đây cả. Yeah. Good night everyone.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Bye.